Japan Station is made possible in part by Patreon support. If you would like to make sure that I can keep bringing you more content like this, then head on over to japankyo.com/Patreon and sign up for as little as $1 a month.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Japan Station.
Welcome to Japan Station, where we talk about all things Japan. I'm your host, Tony, and as always, or as like half of the time, I'm joined by my co-host.
I'm only here half the time?
Yeah.
Ryan, that's my
Right.
name.
Yeah. You're here once a month, and I do another episode the other time in the month. So anyway, now it's our co-hosty episode, and today we are gonna be talking about 3 weird Japanese dishes you should try, or maybe I should say you must try. That's better clickbait, right?
If you don't, Tony will hunt you down.
Yeah, exactly. I'll stuff these down your gullet, and I'll tell you, how do you like them now? And I'll do a TikTok about it. So there you go. So we've talked about, of course, we've done a lot of food episodes, especially on Ichimon Japan. That was the podcast that we were doing, but now I've integrated all over here on Japan Station. So, we've done episodes about yakitori, yoshoku, like quote unquote Western style food that isn't really Western style, but it's like Western inspired Japanese food. I'm sure we've done at least a couple others, one or two others. So today's another one of these food episodes, and Japan, each region of Japan is known for all kinds of different food specialties. And like it doesn't matter where you go, like whether it's a little souvenir kind of cake thing or like a proper dish, you will find something. However, these regions tend to have like, some, let's just say like one or two or three that are really well known, and then like a bunch of other ones that are like really obscure, right? So these are the ones that a lot of people don't eat. A lot of people, even locals, may not necessarily know about them, or even if you go visit one of these places, you just may not get around to eating it because you eat the more famous ones. Well, Ryan and I have been around Japan quite a bit, and we've had some of these. I've had all of these. I've got 3 of them today, and I actually I like all of these. And so I want to share these with you, and you can decide if you want to try them next time you're in the appropriate area. So let's begin with teppanyaki. Okay, so I've seen this as teppan Napolitan. I've also seen it as, well, the one in Osaka that we had, Ryan, was they were writing it as teppan spa, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And the spa comes from spaghetti, right? So spaghetti. I sounded a little Italian there. Spaghetti. So so basically this is teppanyaki as they say it in English, right? Teppanyaki spaghetti.
Teppanyaki.
Teppanyaki, yeah. Spaghetti. And for anybody unfamiliar with teppanyaki, it's the big steel like plate, I guess you would say, like board, like big metal like grill that usually you would grill meat on, but in this case it's spaghetti that they are cooking on this. So we had this the last time I was in Japan back in the fall, and we found this just pure like coincidence, right?
Yeah, just we were trying to go somewhere else and the line was like too long.
Yeah. I think we were trying to. It might have been kushikatsu. I think that's what I wanted to eat that day. But yeah, the line was ridiculously long, and so Ryan looked around and he saw this shop in Shin Osaka Station. And it was it called Romakin, right? I think that's what it was called, right? Romakin.
Something like that. I don't remember
Yeah,
exactly.
I think it was Romakin. And Roma comes from Rome, right? So I'm pretty sure it was Romakin. So like an Italian feel to it. And it was just one of these like little food court areas in the train station, and this was a shop like at one of these corners in that area. And we had never seen this before, teppanyaki spaghetti. Neither of us had it, and it seemed interesting, and there was an open table, and so we went in and gave it a shot. And what did you think, Ryan?
It was the worst food I'd ever had in my life.
This is so anticlimactic. I just told people they need to try this food.
No, it was pretty good.
Yeah, no, like I think since we went with absolutely no expectations and no like prior knowledge, like we were both pleasantly surprised. Um, uh,
Yeah, it wasn't
yeah,
like amazing, but it was definitely
yeah,
interesting to have.
yeah. Like I again, like I had no knowledge about this, and I was like, oh hey, this is pretty good. So basically, they cooked the spaghetti on a teppan, I believe, like probably in the back. I don't know. Did you see a big teppan in towards the back? Because we were like right by the
Yeah, we,
entrance.
we were seated like almost outside the door, so I don't
Yeah.
really remember.
Okay. Yeah.
But
So
I did not see. I don't know if it was hidden or
yeah,
something though.
maybe it was there, but I assume that's what they cook it on, and then they bring it out on those hot plates that like keep the food sizzling. And they gave us well, they gave me a bib just to protect my shirt from the like the sizzling, the juices going, you know, and staining my clothes. And it's yeah, as the name implies, it's a spaghetti cooked on teppanyaki. It was very juicy, and I really enjoyed it. It had a very meaty flavor. I think the one that I had either meat sauce or meat on it or something. Like that was like their main one. Ryan tried something that was still did it still have the teppan like
I
the
think I had
sizzle
a
plate?
side of it,
Yeah,
but yeah, man, I
yeah, yeah,
wish I remember what I heard. I just remember yours. I think I
yeah.
took a photo.
Yeah, and I think yeah, but anyway, yeah, that was like their main thing. But here's the thing, like again, we went here with no prior knowledge. It turns out that teppanyaki spaghetti, or as the I think the more common name is actually teppan napolitan. This is actually originally from Nagoya, as far as I can tell. So Nagoya, different city, right? Like in the Aichi Prefecture. Uh, so Napolitan is a Japanese take on pasta that originated, I think, in like the 1930s in a hotel in Yokohama, and at least that's what people say, right? And originally it was pasta using tomato sauce, and they called it Napolitan because
I think pasta always uses tomato sauce. It's or wait, originally was it? Because now it's famous as being pasta using ketchup, right?
exactly, yeah. So originally, according to what I read, originally it was tomato sauce, and I guess, well, you often see like miso sauce, like meat sauce, and like carbonara and all that. So I guess they were calling this particular variety of tomato sauce the Napolitan pasta spaghetti. But then again, Yokohama 1930s, but eventually this became ketchup, right? So Napolitan became known as the original Japanese like ketchup or spaghetti done with ketchup. So I'm sure Italians absolutely hate it. But this is quite
And
popular.
Australians can't tell the difference.
Are like Australians infamous for something with pasta? I've never heard that.
Well, no, they call tomato sauce, and they also call ketchup tomato sauce.
Okay. I wasn't. Oh, I'm sure I've heard that. I have Australian friends, but I didn't remember that. Anyway, uh, so yeah. This is quite popular as like home cooking, right? Like mom might whip this up really quickly, and people say that kids like it because kids love ketchup, and actually kids do tend to like ketchup, from what I've seen. So anyway, this is a very
That's
Japanese
why I feel
thing.
it would be like a very disappointing meal to get at like a fancy hotel, but it is
Yeah,
actually a popular meal here.
it is, yeah. And again, I don't think you would like you kind of implied there. I don't think you would normally see a Napolitan at like a fancy proper Italian place. Like that would be considered like no, like that's not proper Italian. This is yoshoku. This is Japanese take on Western cuisine. So this is considered like home style cooking, soul food kind of thing that you would eat at home, really easy to prepare. Anyway, the Nagoya, the original Nagoya teppanyaki Napolitan, Napolitan, does have the ketchup, but it also has like egg on it. It is a different kind of sauce. And it's so was looking up the origin of this, and I think the origin goes back to 1966. Like it was definitely the 60s. It was back in the Showa period, and so this guy, he owned a restaurant, a kisaten, a cafe kind of style place, and he went to Europe. He went to Italy, and he was talking to somebody, as he was eating spaghetti, and he got kind of bothered by the fact that as he was talking, the spaghetti was cooling down. So when he went back to Japan, back to Nagoya, he wanted to come up with something that would keep the pasta hot longer. And so his idea was the whole teppanyaki Napolitan thing.
That is very surprising to me because a cultural thing I've never heard anyone ever mention before is I feel like Japanese people are way, way more okay with their food cooling off than like Americans.
Really? Okay, I've never, I don't know if I've ever
Many
gotten that.
times we've had like a warm meal. I'm like, oh, we should eat this soon. And I'm with like a group of Japanese people who like just don't care if it's warm or cold.
Oh, okay, okay. I don't know. I don't have enough
Maybe,
data
maybe that's
to
entirely
confirm.
anecdotal experience,
Yeah,
but
yeah. Well, this guy
even with my
really,
wife, she'll
yeah.
like be getting something and like, oh, let's get this to go. But we're like 40 minutes from home and it's like, it's gonna be super cold by then. Like, that's fine. No, it's
Like,
not.
well, for example, here's something interesting. Like when it comes to like cakes and stuff, like colder stuff, the shops in Japan are very they prioritize keeping that cold. So they will put in like ice packs and they really warn you like, well, they ask you like, are you gonna take this home right away? Are you gonna, go somewhere else first? And depending on that, they will give you more or less ice or no ice or like whatever the ice pack is. It might not actually be ice. Uh, so sometimes I would when that would happen to me, I would go like, it's not such a big deal. Like I'm just gonna be, I'm gonna get back there soon. So like whatever, like. But the shops really do prioritize that in Japan. So maybe they like to
Cake
keep
shops,
things
yes.
cold. Yeah, cake shops definitely. Yeah, they are very picky, I guess, about that.
There's one nearby at my house that we literally walk to in like 4 minutes. And they're like, are you gonna have this soon? I'm like, I live like right there.
Okay,
And
so
they still give me ice.
we'll give you 1 kilo of ice. I think that should last.
Like, because I said like, oh, I live close by. Like, oh, but how many minutes? Like, I don't know, like 4, and they still put ice inside.
They weighed the ice before they put it in the bag. This should last 10 minutes just in case you get lost. So yeah, so that is Teppan Napolitan. I have been to Nagoya a couple times and I didn't know about this when I was in Nagoya. So next time I'm in Nagoya, I do plan to try this if I can. Nagoya has a lot of original dishes. They have a lot of like cafe culture. What is another one? Like sauce spaghetti or something like that. They I think it's like what is it? No, it was ankake spaghetti, I think. Yeah, like this kind of Chinese style sauce that you get on like, for example, some yakisoba dishes on spaghetti. Like that's another Nagoya thing that I've been wanting to try, but I never got around to it. So that's yeah, Nagoya seems like it has a lot of good food. Well, what I've had, I've enjoyed, but I need to go back.
I'm glad to hear that because I've never been able to go there
Mhm.
because everyone I know hates Nagoya.
Even people who live in Nagoya, and I know quite a few, they tell me there's nothing here.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. No one has actively said I hate Nagoya, but
Yeah,
it's like the third major city of Japan, I guess, and I've
yeah,
never been there. And I was like, oh, we should like go check out Nagoya sometime. Like, no, there's nothing there. Don't go there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
Like,
like they always say that. I know, I
it's
really
like a
know a
thing
lot of
everyone
people.
has to be down on Nagoya all the
Yeah,
time.
like I think people like living there, but they acknowledge that it's not a good tourist place, like compared to the more popular places, obviously. Uh, but
They
yeah,
have Legoland.
and they well, Aichi has
Yeah, yeah, they got that too, right?
the Ghibli theme park, right? They also have a Nagashima Spa Land, which if you like roller
Okay.
coasters, there's a couple good ones there that I have yet to go to, but I hope that I can go there at some point. I'm sure there's like a couple other, well, there's a couple other things. There's Nagoya Castle and stuff, but I again, yeah, even Nagoya people go like, yeah, there's nothing here. Which I think yeah, there's more than they might, admit to, but still, the food is generally, I think, acknowledged to be quite good. Uh, anyway, so that's teppanyaki spaghetti. I do recommend this, whether it's the Osaka variety, and I can't vouch for the Nagoya variety, but I would definitely try it if I was there. I enjoyed the Osaka variety, and yeah, okonomiyaki and takoyaki, and I'm blanking. There's probably like at least one or two other Osaka foods that are definitely more famous than that. But
Not
I
just
I
those two.
think Just that, yeah, that's it. I mean, those really are the kushikatsu, kushikatsu. Uh, yeah, those are definitely much more famous. But if you have an extra day and you're in Shinosaka Station, there's one there. Might as well give it a shot. All right, so let's go to number two. This is one that only I have had, as far as Ryan can remember. I don't think he has, but this is an Okayama famous dish. It's called ebi meshi. Ebi meshi. And literally this means shrimp rice. But it's not so shrimp focused. There is shrimp in it, but when you hear ebi meshi, you think like it'll be like mostly shrimp. But it's not. It's basically ebi meshi is how would you describe it, Ryan? You have the photos
I've
there. I'm
never
curious.
had it, so I
No,
don't
no,
really
but the
know.
appearance, the appearance. How would you describe the appearance?
Well,
Is
I'm
it,
looking at the first picture of it I've ever seen.
yeah,
It appears to be shrimp on rice with some kind of dark sauce.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so basically the rice, it's a kind of fried rice, and it comes out black. And there's a whole bunch of varieties of this, just like any of these dishes, depending on where you go, there's different variations. But generally speaking, yeah, it's black fried rice. It does have shrimp in it, and there often is some kind of sauce that is rather dark. It might be some kind of like caramel sauce or demi-glace sauce. Um, and often it might be on top or on the side. There's coleslaw as well. And the I think like a lot of places like to play with the whole like white coleslaw versus the black rice like aesthetic. For example, one variation that I saw when I was in Okayama, I was looking up places to go eat it. I didn't go to this place, but they had white curry sauce with the black rice. So again, they like to use that contrast, which proves for a very unique looking dish. And there's a lot of these shops in the Okayama area, but the origin is interesting in that it's actually not even Okayama. This originally seems to have come from Shibuya in Tokyo. So, like I said, it originated in Shibuya, possibly in the 1960s, because so there was somebody that was working at this place in Shibuya. I think it was a hotel, and they, with permission from, I guess, the owner of the restaurant where he was working at, he took the recipe back to his hometown of Okayama, and he opened his own cafe in 1966. And this place is called the Kaikoteki Yoshoku Ebi Meshiya. It is still open from what I've seen, and I believe this would be the closest to the original recipe, although I assume some changes have also been made just by the guy that took it from Shibuya. Nevertheless, like even though it didn't originate in Okayama, it ended up becoming quite popular in Okayama. And now, like I said, like when you look up, well, in Japanese, when you look up ebimeshi places, like you get a bunch of different options all around, like that area, especially like around the Okayama City area, and all these places have their own unique variations. So I did have it when I was there. Both times I've been there. I was there late last year when I was walking through that area on the way to Hiroshima. And I went to a place that so I wanted to go to different places, but they were all kind of far away, and I wanted to go somewhere that was like walking distance. So I just picked one place. I liked it. I liked it. It wasn't like mind blowing or anything like that, but I did like it. I especially like the sauce and the combination with the coleslaw and the rice. The rice itself doesn't have like a strong flavor or anything like that. Like I guess there's like a little bit of a curry flavor to the specific one that I had. Some onions, and then that mixed with the coleslaw, just mixing it all up. I liked that. So I would recommend this. It is a little bit unique, and it makes for a good picture, because it's just such a striking image. And like one thing that I saw at one point, I didn't see it this time when I was looking this up, but probably like years ago when I first discovered this, that it was black because of the castle in Okayama that's known for being black. but that doesn't make sense because
Yeah, it's not from
apparently,
there.
yeah, this was from Shibuya, so that doesn't make sense. So maybe that's something that people came up with after the fact, but it doesn't seem to be true because from what I saw, yeah, it's black because whatever that guy in Shibuya in Tokyo decided
Maybe
to
that
make it black.
castle is also from Shibuya.
Oh, so now it all makes sense. Yeah,
Now we have a conspiracy theory that Okayama stole everything from Shibuya.
yeah. Well, Shibuya is a cultural center of Japan, and it makes sense that Okayama would want some of that street cred.
Well, it's at least the cultural center of Okayama.
Yeah, apparently. So yeah, so that is ebi meshi. Yeah, I like that. There was this one description on this Japanese website that said something like, "Don't let the appearance fool you. This tastes quite good." It's like, really? Are you making it sound like it looks horrible? I don't think it looks horrible. I just
We
think,
know this looks like crap, but please try eating it anyway.
yeah. I honestly I don't think it looks bad. I mean, if you're used to like the squid ink pasta, whatever, it's like, yeah, it's black. So what? Like, let's taste it. All right. So now we get to what I think is the funniest and most interesting one, and this one we've both had, and this one is called toriko rice. Toriko rice.
I
So
guess the whole story of this one's fun.
yeah, it is.
So Toruko
Mm,
is the Japanese word for Turkey, the country.
yeah,
So it's Turkish rice.
yeah, but it's not Turkish at all.
It has no connection to Turkey whatsoever.
Not at all. So let's this is a rather obscure dish. I think it's now with the internet it's much more easy to find because if you look up a list of things to eat in Nagoya, I mean not Nagoya, Nagasaki, because this is from Nagasaki. It will come up, but I think odds are people are more likely to eat things like Nagasaki champon, which is super famous, or like going to the Chinatown in Nagasaki long before they eat this. And for good reason.
Yeah. I mentioned having this when I went there, and some people I knew were like, "What is that?"
Yeah. Like I've mentioned toriko rice to several people, and I don't think I've ever had anybody that went, "Oh yeah, I've had that." So toriko rice is basically three. I like how the Japanese, well, this one Japanese website put it. This is a kid's plate for adults. That's what it said. Okosama ranchi, otona no okosama ranchi. I think that's what the Japanese website described it as. So basically, it's a mix of three different things. It's pilaf rice, usually with like a curry powder flavoring, and tonkatsu, so fried pork cutlet, and Napolitan pasta, what we were talking about with the ketchup and the Napolitan, right? The ketchup pasta
Yes.
spaghetti. Yeah. Yeah. So it's rice, fried pork, and like home style Japanese pasta. So it's very it comes off as very informal, like not fancy at all, like very like soul foodie, I guess you could call it. And often it does have a sauce of some kind, like it might be a demi-glace sauce or and again, like a lot of these places, it just depends on where you go, right? They all have their own variation. So I can't say it's exactly this or that, but the common factor is it has those three things, right? The pilaf, the tonkatsu, and the napolitan, the spaghetti. So we've both had it. You had it, Ryan. What did you think?
I thought it was good.
Yeah.
No, it's very like I describe it as it's pilaf, which is not that huge in Japan.
Yeah.
And then just on top of that is every Japanese yoshoku food you can think of. Like the iconic one would be like you said, the Napolitan and the katsu, but
Yeah.
there's variations with like ebi fry. You can get it with karaage.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
whatever you're in. Like you could probably get korokke. Just all of that stuff.
Probably.
Just toss it on top.
Yeah. And there may be a side of salad or something too. Uh, but yeah, so true. Yeah, a lot of these places do have variations like that as well. It's kind of like curry where you can just like put anything on.
I only had it once, so I don't know if the place I went was like, and it was in Nagasaki, but I don't know if this was the normal way. But I thought that the amount was quite large.
Oh, okay. The place I went to was not large. So
Okay, so I just went to a better place.
maybe, but the place that I went to, I had to look this up because I went in, I think it was like 2018. So it's been quite a while and I didn't remember the name of the restaurant, but I believe I went, well, no, I went to the place that says they are the originator of the what's it, Toriko rice. Yeah, Toriko rice. So I believe the name of this place is Tsuruchan. Tsuruchan. And I don't know if this place has moved around. I assume it has. This probably wasn't the original location. The place that I went to was like on a second floor, and it was decorated more like a, well, like a wine bar. Let's say that. And I can specifically say that because I talked to the current owner, and I'll tell you, man, the owner was so funny. I will tell you a story about the owner in just a moment. But it was like a nice small place with a big counter and just a few tables like on the side with where the windows are. So not a big place at all. Not can't seat that many. And we had the toriko rice, and like I said, it wasn't big. I liked it. I would definitely want to try other places as well. It's it's not exactly like something that I crave because it's like I can just have those three things like anytime, basically. Right? Like the unique thing about the toriko rice is that it all comes on one plate. And you go like, "Wow, this is funny." So, but here's the thing about the owner. So this place, if I'm looking at the correct, like information here, was opened in 1925. So it wasn't opened by the current owner. Judging by what the owner told me, it was opened by his father. And the current owner, first, he was complaining a lot. And I secretly recorded this interaction with him because I wanted to interview him, but then I found out that he had a lot of complaints. And so I didn't ask him because I thought he'd say no. So I ended up recording this. I honestly, I don't even know where, I think I know where that recording is, somewhere on a, external disk. So I need to, I don't know. I didn't go back and listen. But what I remember is that number one, he hated Toriko rice. He absolutely hated it because his dream, what he wanted to do was create this super like fancy, really high class wine bar. And so that's why that place looked like that. It didn't look like a, like a dirty mom and pop kind of lunch joint. No, it
A
looked like
children's food for adults place.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It looked like, like he was really trying to make it like a nicely lit, kind of, a little bit dark and nice bar counter with a wide selection of wine. He was going for that style, right? But that place is known for toriko rice. So people come and ask for the toriko rice. And apparently he was also part of like the tourism board of Nagasaki. And so at one point he decided to stop serving the toriko rice, but then he started getting complaints because people know that place as the originator of the toriko rice. And so because he was on the tourist board, I guess he got pressure from the other like members. And so he had to start serving it again. And again, he was like just complaining. He wasn't holding back, even though like we had ordered toriko rice. And then he was also complaining about how like tourists come like wearing shorts and showing their hairy legs. And I have hairy legs, and I think I was wearing shorts. And he's trying to turn this into like a fancy, nice place, like a wine bar where you have to come dressed up nice, right? And then he was also complaining about how like there'll be a group of like 5 tourists and they come and they only order one toriko rice and then they leave.
That's surprising.
Yeah, and he was just like unloading on us.
I don't think I've ever seen a group of people go and only order one thing.
It happens. It happens. I've heard
Do they
stories.
just take a picture of it and leave and not even eat it?
No, I'm pretty sure they ate it. That'd be horrible. But yeah, like, and sadly, I've heard news stories of like even Japanese people doing this, and then this turns into like, they get aggressive with the customer, with the employee, right? It's like, how can you, tell us to buy more? It's like, well, actually, there's 3 of you here. Please, can you get 1 item per person? So
I'm actually assuming this is almost entirely Japanese people because I don't think any foreigners have ever heard of this dish.
Well, I think this has been a long time, but I think he did mention also foreigners were coming. But whatever the
Well, to
case,
not eat it, I mean, I just think the whole.
what
Oh,
the
never mind.
Toriko. Yeah, but anyway, whatever.
The big group who only orders one.
Yeah, I don't know all the details. He was just unloading on us. Uh, so I found this to be hilarious. And one other thing that he was insisting on was that it shouldn't be called Toriko rice because this is not from Turkey. So even the son of the guy that supposedly created this is insisting on this. And what he was saying that this should be called was Toriko fu rice. So the
That's
food.
the same thing.
I know, right? It literally is Turkish rice.
I guess in English, it's the difference between
No.
turkey rice and Turkish rice.
Yeah. So, okay, so let's explain this. So the foo implies that it's done in a Turkish style, right?
Which
it
it's
doesn't,
not.
Yeah, it's not. So it's a difference between saying like rice from Turkey and rice done in a Turkey-inspired style, and which is still not the case. So neither one of them is accurate. But he was really adamant about like, yeah, he said this multiple times. I'm pretty sure it's like it shouldn't be Toriko rice. It should be Toriko food rice. So this guy was just so cranky, like. And so today I was looking up like what the like origin. Why was it called Toriko rice? I got essentially I got well the main theory is that because pilaf does come from Turkey apparently, like the word for pilaf is pilav, like with a v. I don't know how it's pronounced in Turkish. Like that's why Turkish, because it has pilaf in it, and so Turkish rice. Okay, I get that, but pilaf with tonkatsu and spaghetti, I don't think that's Turkish rice. So that seems to be the main theory. But yeah, whatever the case is, I do think that if you're in Nagasaki, and especially if you tried the champon already, and you know whatever else, the sasebo burger, you had the sasebo burger, right?
Yeah, that
Um,
was me and my wife's both pick for best food there.
okay. So yeah, sasebo does come from. I don't think that's Sasebo City, right? I don't think that's technically Nagasaki
Yes.
City.
Yes. It is a specific city. And also, what we didn't know, there's not actually a chain called Sasebo Burger. There's like a guild of restaurants that are a member of the Sasebo Burger like team.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because we were like Googling like just Sasebo Burger, but nothing was named that. And then we had like a private taxi driver who was like, "Oh yeah, it's not really a singular restaurant chain. It's just a group of restaurants who like come together to make this special type of burger."
Oh man, that sounds almost like a guild of special people that come together to make this special item. It's an
I
RPG.
imagine it's very exclusive and secretive. The one of which was actually really good though, because okay, this is cool. They were like I don't know how to describe them, like I mean, I guess like a steakhouse. It was like a beef focused place. And the first floor was like a fancy steakhouse. And the second floor was just burgers.
Oh, I like that idea.
Yeah. And so my wife's parents didn't really care about the burger because they hadn't heard of that at all.
Yeah.
So they just had steaks. But we had heard of the Sasebo burger from some TV show we watched here, so we both wanted that.
Yeah.
And the meat was crazy good.
Oh, okay. I don't think I've had Sasebo Burger in Nagasaki. I've had it just in some random fast food place. I think that
I
happened
had
to
it
have it.
once before in like a little food cart that they brought to, of all things, a ramen convention.
Interesting.
I guess like ramen from Nagasaki came too, so like some burger truckers came too. That one, it was not bad, but it didn't really surprise me at all.
Mhm.
It kind of tasted like a hamburger, but using hamburg instead of like a normal burger
Gotcha.
patty. So it was like
Yeah.
meatloaf-ish.
Yeah, I
But
think
it
that
was like
was
fine.
yeah, I think that was my experience too.
But yeah, the one I had at the fancy place. Well, the first floor was fancy. The second place was just a burger joint.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was really, really, really good.
Okay. Well, what I was saying before we went off on the Sesame Burger tangent was like, yeah, if you've tried the other foods, I do recommend just giving Toriko rice a shot. It's just kind of a funny dish. And
It was good.
yeah, and there's nothing wrong with it. Like it is good, and I'm sure that some shops have like extra special variations that maybe some special sauce or whatever. So you can definitely experiment with it and try something. So I do recommend it, but maybe not number one. Uh, but
It's hard to
yeah,
imagine people not liking it just because
yeah,
it's like you said, it's like kids' food for adults. Like, do
yeah,
you like fried pork? Do you like fried shrimp? Do you like chicken? Like,
yeah, yeah.
if your answer is no, I hate all of those, then you should probably pass.
Yeah, then that's not for you. Exactly. No, no Torikofu rice for you. But yeah, my plan for 2025 is to walk across Kyushu. So there's a good chance I'll be in Nagasaki. So maybe I'll have Satsubo burger and some more Toriko rice.
The Toriko
When I'm
rice
there.
tour, just nothing but Toriko rice.
Nothing but Toriko. Oh, and here's an extra thing. So I was looking at a Japanese website and reading about Toriko rice, and they said that there's other Toriko rice in other parts of the country. For example, in Kobe, there's like fried rice with curry, and they call that Toriko rice. I lived in Kobe. I never heard or saw of this. Uh, so if that, I assume there's some truth to that, but it must be super, super obscure if that is the case. Yokohama, they said that like it's chicken rice with like, what was it? I think it was salsa or something, or I forgot what it was, but they named a few places that had their own versions of toriko rice, but like I've never heard of any of these. And like we were saying before, like when I've told Japanese people and when Ryan has told Japanese people, like, have you heard of toriko rice? Like none of them have ever heard of it. So
I don't think my wife had heard of it before talking to you even.
yeah, like it's my impression is that it's quite obscure. So I'm very surprised by like other areas having their own toriko rice, but I don't know if they actually call it that. Maybe they call it something else. And this article was just trying to say like there's similar kind of quirky combination dishes other in other places. But
I hope if you go to like Hiroshima, it's like Hiroshima food, Toriko food, rice.
well, there is I think a lot of people are familiar with the fact that Hiroshima has its own okonomiyaki, which has udon in it, right? So if they're
Yeah, they just added it on.
yeah, if they do a Hiroshima food torikofu rice, it would just be torikofu rice with an extra layer of udon on it. So
That's the Hiroshima cooking style. You just throw udon on top of it and call
yes,
it
yes.
Hiroshima style.
And by the way, I've had Hiroshima yaki before, as they call it. But I was there this past fall when I was walking through that area, and I had a very, very, very good Hiroshima yaki. If you're there, that is a must try food. But be careful because not all of these shops. There's a lot of shops that serve Hiroshima yaki. Not all of them are like really, really good. Some of them are like eh. So you do have to be careful about which ones you go to because I did go to one that was kind of disappointing, but then the previous one that my friend took me to was very good. So yeah, there is hit and miss sometimes.
That's a good thing. If you have a friend who lives somewhere and knows local restaurants, listen to their advice.
Yes, 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 exactly. That is really good. Or even if you just know a Japanese person, ask them because they know like the local specialties and they like to travel around, of course, like all of us. They do domestic travel as well. And the common thing is you go eat the local foods, they can tell you. And often they may even know like specific restaurants. So yeah, ask if you have people you know.
Having just said that, I have to say the exact opposite in that because multiple times in Japan, I've gone to like local popular places that have crazy long lines, and the food is like,
Yes.
eh.
Yeah, well, the Hiroshima yaki place that I went to that was disappointing. Well, granted, it was dinner time, but I ended up waiting probably like 40 minutes. And I was disappointed. So yeah, long line doesn't necessarily mean good. It's also a location thing. I was in the train station. If I had probably walked like
Ah,
10 minutes away from the train station to something, that wasn't in that immediate area, I probably would have been able to find something quite good, but I didn't want to do that, so I paid the price.
my wife's hometown is kind of famous for ramen. So
Mhm.
when I went there, they wanted to like show me really good. They just go to like little local cheap places usually, but they wanted to like take me to like a famous one. So my wife and my mother-in-law took me to a place that both of them had never been to, but according to the internet, was like the best one in the whole town.
Mhm.
And we had to wait like, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes to get a seat. Like the place wasn't even open yet. We arrived and it still wasn't open because it opened from lunch and there was already like a line of like 30 people outside.
Mhm. Mhm.
So we're like, oh, this is gonna be really good. And then we have like, this is the most mediocre ramen I've had all year.
Yeah. 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 It
And
happens.
then Yeah, just this month too. There's a place in my neighborhood that sells Chinese food.
Hmm.
My sister-in-law came to visit, so my wife had wanted to go there because she heard it was famous. Same thing. We go. There's this giant line out the door. We wait around. We get our seat. We eat it, and like, it's okay.
Yeah, it happens. Like interestingly, I think when I've just walked into random places, I can't remember a single negative experience. It's only been like maybe a couple times when I've waited in lines and been kind of disappointed. So maybe there's something to that. 'Cause-
Though I will say, once a long time ago, when I first came to Japan before I lived here on vacation, there was this tiny little ramen shop, like run out of the first floor of someone's house.
Mhm.
And so we were like on vacation, my friend and I. So basically, we were like renting like an apartment for a month, go out, do all the stuff, like come back really late at night. We're always getting home at like, 12, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. Every single night we walk by and there's a giant line of people waiting for this ramen place. And
Yeah.
we're like, oh, we'll have to try that at some point. But the line is like always there. And like the last night, we're like, let's just wait and see how it is. It was like the freaking best ramen I had in my life.
Okay, so all right.
Yeah, if
There's
the
no way
line
to
is still
predict.
there at 4 a.m., it
Yeah.
probably means it's actually good.
Yeah. 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 I agree. I agree. Um, okay, okay. You just reminded me of something that I had at like probably 2 or 3 a.m. in Hiroshima when I was there recently, which is another one of these obscure foods. It's the Hiroshima, it's called skimin, Hiroshima skimin. And skimin is like basically ramen noodles that you dip in a separate little bowl. And usually they tend to be kind of spicy, but well, actually, this can be spicy too, the Hiroshima one. And this is like really late night food. So I think after people go drinking, they like to eat this. So the noodles are chilled, and the sauce is can be very spicy. You can choose the amount of spiciness, and it's like a spicy but also kind of vinegary, kind of light sauce. But it I think it has kind of like a, oh, what's it, like a maybe like a little bit of a garlicky taste, if I remember correctly. And there's a bit of like lettuce, not lettuce, like cabbage on the men and on the noodles as well. So it's a very like simple dish, but I liked it. I enjoyed it. I had never had that. It's also quite obscure. My friend in Hiroshima took me to that place at probably like again 1 or 2 a.m. And yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. So if you're in Hiroshima, that might be something to check out.
You kind
And
of something I think a lot of people don't know outside of Japan is ramen has a very like late night image to it.
yes, yeah,
But I
yeah.
guess it depends where you're from, because my wife thinks it is like exclusively a lunchtime meal.
Oh, okay.
If I
Well,
suggest it for dinner, she's always like, "What, ramen for dinner? I don't want that for dinner."
that is peculiar. Yeah, I don't think I've ever been told that by a Japanese person. So yeah, it could be very regional.
Or she could just be weird.
But
I
yeah,
love her,
yeah.
but
Sometimes we
sometimes she
over.
tells
Yeah.
me like multiple times she's told me like this is normal in Japan, and I ask other people like, "No, that is not normal in Japan."
It's like what? Toriko rice isn't normal?
She told me her family puts salt on apples, and I was like, "That seems strange." She's like, "Oh, everyone does it." So then I asked my coworkers, and they're like, "What? Pouring salt on an apple? What the heck is that?"
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we always have to remember there is individual variety as well. Like sometimes it's like a regional thing, sometimes it's like a local, like real very, very like town thing, and sometimes it's just like that person in that
Yeah, just
family.
like a family thing.
Yeah. It's like nobody else anywhere does that.
I find that happen in classes too. Like you ask like your students like in English, like, "Oh, recommend to me some food or something," and then someone tells you something's great, and all the other students like, What are you talking about?" Like, "Oh, never mind. I guess it's just me."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So anyway, that's our 3+1 obscure Japanese dishes that you can try. There's tons of these around Japan, so if we can, think of other ones, we'll do another one of these. But if you have any that you really like that you think people should know about or that you think are funny or anything, let us know. Mail@japankyo.com. Send that email. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave a review. We'll read it here. And I think that's it. So we shall see you next time.